Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know, there's one great truth, and that is that no matter how much they steal from the coffers in South Africa, from the taxpayer, because basically government revenue is taxpayers' money. So it's basically the transfer of tax revenue into the pockets of the politicians we're talking about. But no matter how much money they steal, no one goes before the courts in South Africa. Isn't that quite incredible? And yet the very people who are actually feeding their theft by paying taxes are now being brought to book. This is the duplicity of South Africa's completely corrupt system of government. South African Revenue Service Commissioner Edward Kieswetter has stated that the Revenue Service needs to prosecute tax dodgers to prevent a widespread tax revolt. Speaking to the paper, Kieswetter said that the public wants to see more criminals brought to justice for dodging their taxes. Well, how about the NPA, or the National Prosecuting Authority, starts charging some of these politicians for their grand theft of taxpayers' money once it's paid to SARS? You know, that's what they should be looking at. But anyway, this fellow from the tax office said that rising levels of tax avoidance were a major problem for the Revenue Service, stating that one of the biggest reasons for this phenomenon was a lack of confidence in both SARS and the government. Kieswetter said, "No one is brought to book. What's happening in SARS is a microcosm of what's happening in South Africa." Exactly right. No one is pulled before the courts. If you are in a very good position at Eskom, or if you're just high positioned as a politician, you can do extremely well through corruption. And they do extremely well through corruption. And no one ever gets charged. Crazy. Anyway, he went on to say, if you're an ordinary taxpayer struggling to make ends meet, then you may begin to feel morally justified to fiddle with your taxes. I can understand why, believe me. SARS is working on bringing major offenders to justice, with Kieswetter admitting that cracking down on big cases of tax avoidance is important for winning back public confidence. Well, public confidence is gone because of the corruption in government and because of racist policies like BEE and BBBEE, which are the ANC's doing. Kieswetter added that SARS's capacity to pursue this type of prosecution has been limited by a mass exodus of experienced, technically competent staff such as auditors and investigators, and a massive decline in morale at the Revenue Service. Why are we not surprised? You know, it's like what's happening around the rest of South Africa. You got rid of all the competent people. You've now got BEE appointees who sit there and they just pick up their paycheck on Friday and they don't give a damn. In addition to a burgeoning tax revolt, Kieswetter added that another major concern for SARS was the eroding tax base of the country due to skilled professionals emigrating from South Africa. He said the erosion of the tax base and a lack of confidence in our country should be a concern for all of us, because we are all bear the brunt of that. Now, it's interesting because yesterday I was talking to Hein Marks on the live stream, and he raised this very point. He said that, you know, once a rand is demoted to junk status by Moody's, which is on the cards, he said that the government will not be able to pay all these billions of rands out to the people who basically on social welfare, because they won't have the revenue in the first place. And that they've actually reached that point right now. And that's when things are going to go pear-shaped, because those people are going to be looking for food, and the crime rate is going to go through the roof, especially in the cities. Anyway, speaking to BizTech, tax consultant SA Senior tax attorney Jean du Toit said that government needs to begin looking at the consequences of declining tax revenue collection. Dutoit said a tax revolt is any situation where taxpayers in an act of solidarity resolve to abstain from their civic duty of paying their taxes, similar to the effective and ongoing protest of e-toll payments by motorists. He said, under a tax revolt, one may broadly identify two types of taxpayers: those who simply do not and never have paid taxes, perhaps out of disdain for the very concept thereof, and those who, for some misguided sense of virtue, feel justified in discontinuing their tax obligations. He said in the latter case, the taxpayer somehow legitimizes their behavior, often because they do not think they have to contribute to a leaky bucket, or they feel that they already contributed more than their fair share. He added that some taxpayers may choose to withhold their tax simply because they have no fear of being prosecuted, a perception which SARS aims to change by prosecuting cases of gross non-payment. No matter how you cut it, these types of tax revolts are illegal and cannot be rationalized, Dutoit said. To make it easier for local taxpayers to file their returns correctly and on time, SARS recently launched the new e-filing system. Now, who can ever forget that woman who headed up the e-filing area? Remember that one? You know, where she didn't know what the heck she was talking about? This is about a year ago now. It was on this channel, and it's one of those classic videos. It is absolutely amazing. Anyway, if you go through my archives, you'll find it. 2019's tax season has also been staggered to improve service to taxpayers and encourage conversion to online filing. Upon announcing the launch of this new e-filing system, SARS said it would step up its prosecution of taxpayers and brokers who attempted to understate their clients' income. SARS said, "We have also noticed that tax preparers are unethically promising taxpayers that they will secure a refund. They then look for opportunities to understate income or overstate expenses. This is a serious criminal offence and could result in criminal charges as well as financial consequences for the taxpayer, who remains accountable to SARS for their submission." Well, the tax base is, to be quite blunt, is cactus. There's so many people leaving. There's so many people disgruntled with the level of corruption in government, and basically that means they're stealing taxpayers' money, that, you know, this can't continue. All right, guys, don't forget 8 p.m. tonight. I'm talking to Devin Hoffmeyer. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, stay safe. Bye for now.